This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for the week of September 13th, 2021. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe the somewhere is seeing the depth of our situation. Maybe the somewhere is getting a long-distance view on delusion or illusion or fantasizing or romanticizing. Maybe seeing the gap between our perception of reality and what's passing for it all around us. Maybe we see that escapism really isn't going to help us at this point. There is a vibe this week of connecting, of collaborating, of at least making the effort to communicate, to put words into action, to collaborate, to build agreements, or at least strive toward agreements, strive toward working together. Mars, the planet that rules our drive, our motivation, how we go about getting things done, moves into Venus-ruled territory, Libra. Mars isn't entirely comfortable in Libra. On the one hand, it can equip us and incline us to work together, to collaborate, to fight for agreements, fight for law, justice. On the other hand, it inclines us to go about things in a way that isn't direct, that soft pedals, that, sometimes manipulates, playing nice when really that's not what we mean. There can be a passive aggressiveness or a backhandedness to Mars being in Libra. And what's fascinating about this is Mars is operating as the cleanup guy in the sky right now. Venus and then Mercury are moving into signs, so our social mode, how we interact with people, how we communicate are going through a mode, and then Mars follows and triggers and makes things happen based on what Venus and Mercury have experienced. And as Mars enters the sign of Libra, he's going to be headed for major action. He's going to be headed for stabilizing, that comes later, toward the end of the month, and clashing, that comes next month. But as for the change this week, see if you don't find yourself actually wanting to do more with people, to isolate less, to find ways to cooperate, collaborate, do things with others. At the same time, the process deepens of getting extraordinarily clear on who you are, what you're up to, what is most important to you. There is an influence of diving more deeply into your own power, which actually translates into knowing yourself, being honest with yourself. This continues, this accelerates, this facilitates a process of culling of the herd, which has been going on all year, and makes it more and more unlikely that you will tolerate situations that don't fit your priorities. Makes it all the more likely that you are going to strip down and streamline the sorts of people you associate with, and also the activities in which you invest yourself. Along with this, as we get toward the weekend, comes a demand to get really serious about what is most important to you. Venus, the planet that rules our interactions, our relationships, what we value, our attitudes about money, love. Venus is in Scorpio, which is deep and selective and tenacious and intense, going for intense connecting, intense valuing. Venus's journey this month has already taken us to a deepening and a paring down and a forcing into action of desires, which happened around the 5th when she clashed with Pluto, who is her counterpart in ruling money and desire, only he's the bigger and more obsessive and completely non-rational end of it. This week on the 17th, she clashes with Saturn, the planet of adulting, the planet of structure, the planet of responsibility and commitment. There is some kind of demand to put walls around something, saying no to some things, and committing to others. If it's really important to you, committing to it so that we don't end up being the punchline to a Beyonce song. This process also has an element of, again, coming to grips with, grappling with similar concepts that started the week, adjusting our thinking, adjusting our information flow in light of recognizing the existence of delusion, romanticizing magical thinking on the one hand, so clearing our information channels and our thinking of those aspects, stepping away from escapism, but at the same time allowing a higher perspective, compassion, understanding, forgiveness to rain down on our thoughts and what's coming out of our mouths. Homing thought of the week. It's something I heard a lot in Texas, particularly in courtrooms. It's time to fish or cut bait. Song of the week, a really old one. I think it's from the 40s or 50s. Can't We Talk It Over? And the image of the week is a card dealer calling for players to ante up. As always, you'll find more about all of this in my forecast for the month of September, which is up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. Listen to my program Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio on the first and third Mondays of every month, 5 p.m. Eastern, and afterwards in the archives. The most recent episode has a forecast festival, basically, that goes through the end of 2021, so it's something that you're going to want to bookmark and return to. I host lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro Insight Lounge. I post a lot of bonus material at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I'm on Instagram at @KABiehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.